Estamos mucho.
Subhash Arora, Cavalier Subhash Arora, to give his welcome speech. Yeah, big applause, please.
Thank you. 200th wine event of Delhi Wine Club. Thank you, thank you. We are also celebrating 10 years of the club founding, which was done in 2002. Actually, the first dinner we had was in July, and so today we are having the 200th. And thank you for coming, and we would like to start by welcoming all of you, and very especially, I think before I go on, everybody seated okay, seated properly, any problems? Because we have, we assign like aeroplane seats, you know, so if you want to change, seatbelts are on, you can change whenever you want, no problem, except the reserved tables. It's a great pleasure and honor to welcome our Foreign Secretary, Mr. Ranjan Mathai, who is a great wine connoisseur. And we have also among us a very good friend of mine who is the Director General of OIV. He's come from Paris all the way, Mr. Federico Castellucci. Thank you for coming, sir. We have, I don't know the protocol, I say the Ambassador of Italy first or France first, but I don't know. Well, we have the ambassadors of these two countries, again good friends, and I can tell you, as we all know, Mr. Santovice is a great friend of the wine club. He's always there for any time you want him. And Mr. François Richier is a relatively new ambassador who is again a wine connoisseur and knows a lot about wine and appreciates wines a lot. And we have an ambassador from Georgia, Zarab, how do I pronounce it? Cadillac, and he is as passionate about wine as his country. And I'm happy to say that we have one of the wines for his country, and we'll talk about that later. We have many people who have come especially for the event, and I'm grateful to people who are from out of Delhi. Mr. Rajiv Samant, Asula, he's here. Come all the way from that. Cecilia Onte, the brand ambassador, she's here. Mark Preo, who's the brand ambassador of Prestige Wine, he's here. Abhay Gavatkar, who's the head of wine division at UB, he's there. He's the founder of Kolkata Wine Club. They're here, especially for the event. And we are also very much honored to have among us the Secretary of Food Processing Industry, Mr. Rajesh Thakkar, and the first Councillor of European Union, Ms. Silvia Costantini. She's also here to join us on this momentous occasion. Ben Manuto, grand welcome to Senior Gandhi. Gianluca Grandi, he's the #2 Deputy Chief of Mission of Italian Embassy. Welcome to the country. I know, like everybody else, when you turn it over, you will not want to go back. And I hope it will come up for Delhi Wine Club. May I request His Excellency the Foreign Secretary, Mr. Ranjan Mathai, to come and say a few words. He was the ambassador of India in Paris before he joined this current post. And today he won't talk about the foreign policy, he will talk only about wine. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, the ambassadors, Mr. Thakkar, Mr. Castellucci, my old friend. I had in fact prepared a long speech, not on foreign policy, I can assure you, but on what I thought about wine. But I can see that we are all in the mood for food and wine and not for speeches. So I'm going to wind up very quickly. I'd just like to say it's a great honor to be here on this 200th event of the club and the 10th anniversary. 39 years ago, when I first came to Delhi, it was considered bad form to talk about wine. And those of us in the foreign service used to be very scared about even claiming that we knew anything about wine. Today, we are scared to say anything about wine in Delhi because we know that the Wine Club has made all of you much better knowledgeable about wine than we are in the foreign service. So well done. I'd just like to say that for us in India, we have an ancient tradition of drinking. But somehow, during the last 100 years, we became divided into teetotalers and hard drinkers. And I'm glad that the Wine Club has brought something in between these two. We are, after all, I myself am a malt whiskey drinker, I must confess, I am not a connoisseur of wine. But what I do appreciate is what a great wine writer once wrote. And he said, it's like a work of art. The alcohol in the wine is only the canvas. If you enjoy art, it's not the canvas you are interested in, but what's painted on it. So that is the world of wine. I am delighted that we have with us Mr. Castellucci, who is the Secretary General of the International Organization of Wine and Wine. He looks after grapes also. When I left Paris on the 12th of July, I held a reception at my house, and that was the day he announced that India has become the latest member of the International Organization of Wine. I'm delighted, and I'm really happy that we have some of the wine growers here. It is through their efforts that India has been placed on the wine map of the world, and I played a very small part in making sure that we remain on that map. I'd like to conclude with a few lines from what Mr. Benjamin Franklin said about wine, because Mr. Castellucci told me he liked this quotation. And Franklin said, in water there is bacteria, in beer there is friendship, but in wine there is wisdom. Cheers.
I did not specially welcome two people. First of all, the Hyatt, because they are our partners and hospitality partners and friends of the club. They have done a great job, and I think I've been talking to the hotel since November last year, and so this worked out, and that's why we're here. And I'd like to have a special welcome for Hemant Nasi, who is from Rolex. How many of you have Rolex watches here? Okay, the income tax guys are going to your house soon, tomorrow, yeah. How many of you have fake Rolex? Okay. And Rolex is brought to India thanks to my very good friend Yasho Saboo, who is the founder of Cadillac Wine Club, and he is the one who founded Ethos about 8 years ago. He invited me for a wine cheese evening, which I presented, and you know, in India, this is for the foreign dignitaries, that in India we have, we do, like we call Haman. We have, you know, you pray to God, this business is successful, so he started this Ethos 8 years ago, I think 7 or 8 years ago. And after he did that, he was smart enough to invite me for a cheese and wine evening. And today he has 36 stores all over India, 750 brands, including Rolex. Now, I don't know, but I like to believe you have cheese and wine evening again. So, anyway, I'm glad all of you are here, and a special Benvenuto and a very special thanks actually to Federico Castellucci, who's become a very good friend over the years. And when I invited him for this dinner, he was in Turkey attending the annual conference, and the very next day he replied to me that yes, I would love to attend. So I think it's very nice of you, we're really honored, and I'd love you to have say a few words, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is with a great pleasure and even with a bit of emotion that I take the word tonight. Actually, the International Organization of Wine and Wine is a 44 foreign countries strong organization. They call it the United Nations of Wine in one way. And India has come recently, but is one of the important players. And what Foreign Secretary Mathai has not told is that the Indian accession to OIV was unanimously agreed by all members. We were very glad to have you in. It's very positive. And I see nice reference tonight because, of course, I'm Italian, so I'm glad to have the Italian ambassador here tonight as well. I've been living in France since 2004, and the OIV has been in France since 1924, so that's quite a while. And then 3 years ago, we had a lovely General Assembly in Tbilisi, in Georgia, during Sabenavi, and President Saakashvili opened our General Assembly. So our three countries were very active, actually, in the OIV life. I've been meeting some of the people who are there, starting from the public service, from the Ministry of Food Process Industry. We are very close because OIV deals with wine and with grapes. I've seen that there is a great attention in having a very active and efficient participation, I'm sure, in the OIV activities. OIV does not do any trade, it's only a scientific and technical entity. And at the same time, I was able also meeting some of the people, actually of the industry people, of the wine industry, from India, both in Paris and here, that there are some products that we should be very proud of. So I think that the Indian wine industry should be expecting in the short, medium term a very good confirmation of the good work which is being done. I say we because I feel my member country is very deep. You should be very self-assertive, not being arrogant, but I think you're up to give us some very nice surprises. And I'm sure that the consumer are waiting this for you, not only within India, but all over the other countries which appreciate the fine wine, which has the characteristic of a specific terroir. And here you have some specific areas in this country. I'm sure we have some beautiful surprises. And I would like to finish giving a thanks to this kind of force of nature, which is Subhash Arora. He's an extremely alive person. We are in immediate sympathy, which is very good. And what he's doing for the wine world is very, very fine. This is one of us so glad to accept to come here tonight and to be with all of you. And I wish to you a very nice evening and a great success to the Indian wine industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Castellucci, for the kind words. I think I'm told that the the course is going to be served in 3 minutes, so I have a minute at a time. And I'm going to talk about a song called Pink Cadillac. Anybody heard that song, Pink Cadillac? Okay. This was the song of the late 80s, early 90s, beautiful song. And I was in Portugal last year. I've been there 3 times. And last year when I went to Porto, there was this new drink, new port called Pink Port. And I was introduced to it, tailored as the company called Croft. So we tasted it, very nice, had lunch with it and enjoyed it. This time I was again in May, and I was so thrilled with the cocktails that are made with this port. And I don't drink anything, I'm sorry, Your Excellency, I don't drink single malt. My wife does that, I drink only wine. And so I said, okay, I met the people, and I said, I will promote Pink Port, provided you let me have a drink in India, which I can call it Pink Cadillac. And they agreed. And so what I said, okay, and we have the importer, Dal Food, somewhere, Arjun Dal, you're there somewhere? They were importing it out. You gotta get the license, you gotta import it, you gotta register it, and we shall serve Pink Cadillac today at the outside. And what will it be, we don't know. We had a competition, in fact yesterday we had a competition, and we invited the bartenders of the hotel to prepare the drink. And what we had outside, those of you who had it, it was a Pink Cadillac. And though we didn't have it, maybe somewhere during the evening we can have them bring it inside and you can taste it. So that's the Pink Cadillac made from port wine, but they've been struggling with the Yasho, whatever they call it, and Instituto, and they did not give them. But 2008 is the first year that it came into existence. So this is the first competition of its kind. This is the first time this kind of a cocktail is being served in India, and I am told that this is the first competition in the world with a Pink Port done by Indian Wine Academy yesterday, and we had that wine today at the cocktail. The champagne that we had outside was Drappier. We had the Drappier Brut Doro, and we also had a rosé champagne. Both made primarily from Pinot Noir. Of course, rosé 100% Pinot Noir, and